So after an entire episode of nothing but humans, we can now talk about chaos, which involves humans again. But a little bit less, we also got demons and shit.
Oh, demons. I like demons.
Grab my ass.
What?
Like
What?
hard, Nick.
So, as I've mentioned many times before, we've discussed the warp, the immaterium, the hellish
grabs your ass?
landscape,
The
the
demons grabs your ass?
purgatory dimension realm between the material realm of our existence. Now, in the warp, it's terrifying, horrible, there are demons everywhere, things are crazy, all your minds and thoughts and emotions
Is he gonna explain this tentacle thing here? I hope so.
get projected there. It is both formless and empty. It is vast and tiny.
Monkey! That's a space monkey right there. Did you see that?
Empty. It is
Space monkey.
vast and tiny. It obeys the laws of time and physics while simultaneously does absolutely nothing of the sort. It is a hodgepodge and a culmination of just unknowable, eldritch, horrifying shit. And there are 4 gods that permeate in chaos
yes,
and the
4
warp.
gods.
These are the 4 major chaos gods.
They
And
all
if we
have
wish to
big
learn
shoulder
about
pads. Dude, this one. I was talking about this last stream. I wanna know. What's your number? Ooh! That's a good art right there.
chaos, we need to learn about each and every single one of these chaos gods. First up, we have Korn, and he is the easiest. Korn is your classic Satan. He is all about anger, murder, fighting, blood, guts, death.
Actually, that's relatable, Corn. I am very angry, yes. Relatable so far? Okay,
Heard
okay.
the term blood for the blood god, skulls for the
Wait, somebody commented this on my video.
skull throne? That's Korn. The whole idea is that he
Skulls
is
for the
all
skull
about
throne?
the fury and strength of battle.
He has a big belly.
He doesn't care where blood comes from, so long as blood is flowing. He wants to fight and murder and carnage and slaughter and death, 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 death. That is Korn. Very simple to
Korn.
understand. Next up, you have Zeech.
Does he like corn?
Zeech is the god of change. However, the god of change
Zeech?
permeates in so many different other ways. He's the most eldritch of all the demon gods. He has this weird way to always be plucking at the strings
Naga will snort grinded civilians. What? Nah. Horn flakes. Ooh. Okay. Corn. I remember that one. This guy? I forgot already. Zeech? Zeech? Cornflakes. Imagine if there's actually cornflakes. That would be brilliant.
the demon gods. He has this weird
Dude, it's cornflakes. And it's actually not cornflakes. It's dandruff. In a box! And you eat it! With your cereal. Disgusting. Anyway, Zinch.
way
Yes.
to always be plucking at the strings of the universe. He's always conniving and scheming and
conniving.
doing his best to cause as much little bullshit as he can. Zeech is unknowable. Everything that
Is anybody gonna explain this part right here? 2 tentacles though. Ooh, I love tentacles. What is this? Ah. Who grinded my boy Eldritch God into a cereal? No one. It's not me. Well, does he use this part to eat or this part? What if you're like making love with this guy and you know that meme where it says I really shouldn't stick my pee-pee in there. Anyway, Zinch, tell us
makes
more.
sense he will and won't do. Every future and setting and every type of destiny or fate
I'm
is all
distracted.
foretold and also changeable. It is set in stone while also completely random.
Don't kiss
He
it.
knows what
It's a
everything
gooch.
is going to happen and also that none of it's going to happen. You would ask Zeech a question. And that question leads to 3 more questions. And those questions lead to the heat death of the universe, which asks 4 answers to those questions. And then he thinks to himself,
I am so sorry. This guy is so serious explaining Zinch, and I'm just distracted by that. By that lower mouth. Jesus Christ. I cannot stop thinking about it. Also, he has tentacles. Dude, tell me. Actually, maybe don't tell me. I'm sure there's like Rule 34 art happening with this tentacle over here and this mouth over here. I'm sure somebody else thought about that and made like art of it. I'm sure. I'm not the only one who thinks that way. Surely. Anyway, sorry. Bad tangent. I cannot, dude. I'm just looking at it. It's calling to me.
And also that none of it's going to happen. You would ask Zeech a question. That question leads to 3 more questions. And those questions lead to the heat death of the universe, which asks 4 answers to those questions. And then he thinks to himself, what are questions even really? And
What
are
are
you even asking the
questions,
questions?
yeah.
Or are you simply giving paths to answers and other horse shit? Zeech is just, I'm gonna fuck with stuff. He is yes and he is no. He is the understanding and he is complexity. He is unknowable. And that's what the God of Change is about. Very bizarre. And he likes birds.
He's like an eldritch horror. Unknowable. Would you say you would not be able to describe him? Well, I guess somebody described him because he looks like that. What is bird? What is his
He
bird?
is unknowable. And that's what the God of Change is about. Very bizarre. And he likes birds a lot. I don't know why.
I mean,
next
birds are
up, we
cool,
got
yeah.
Papa Nurgle. Papa Nurgle, he
Nurgle!
loves you for who you are. Probably not. He will
Aw,
murder you
really?
just the same. But Papa Nurgle
What?
is about rot, pestilence, death, and decay. He is the end of everything.
Will he cook you in that soup? Probably. Is there somebody streaming Warhammer who ever thought about like doing a hot tub stream? And then the hot tub is like this art? And he's at the background. Papa Nurgle hot tub stream. Ooh, spicy.
Pestilence, death, and decay. He is the end of everything. Him and Zeech do not like each other very much because
Mr.
where
Zombie
Zeech
Drake.
represents change and
He also with
adjustment,
farts. Oh,
Nurgle
no.
represents stagnation and
Mr.
death.
Stank.
He is all about miasma and pestilence
Swamp.
and large
Shrek.
bloat and pus and organs and people just being sedentary, sloth. He is the idea that everything will rot
Mr. Swamp.
and decay and die. Nothing is certain besides decay and death. All of us will end up the same way and broken down through just sheer never-ending decomposition.
Look at those boobs though. Ooh, that's nasty. Oh my god. Sheesh.
So the joke that Nurgle always loves you is generally because of that, because we all end up the same. We all rot and we all die and wither. That's
About
Nurgle,
rot.
and he's got a general theme of course, pestilence and different kinds of
Pestilence.
diseases and sickness and things of that nature. That's generally Nurgle. He's pretty easy to understand as well, and
I
he
think
chunk.
Swamp.
Finally, we have the
Why did you censor that? Okay. Nurgle, Chunk, Swamp, Pestilence, Stingy, probably. I don't understand why you censor this. Come on, dude, come
youngest of
on.
the Chaos Gods, and that is Slanesh, also known as the
Slanesh.
Prince of Pleasure or the God of Unspeakable Excess. Slanesh is generally referred to with sex, but it's not only sex, it's just that's a good avenue if you want to make stuff. Slanesh is just the idea
Ooh,
of
that's
the
good art.
senses of the body being cranked to not just 11, but more like 17. See, we'll discuss Slanesh a little bit more when we talk about the Eldar, because they done fucked up, but she...
What? I didn't
he-
catch that one.
It or whatever is mainly about
Oh,
just
look at that tongue action though. Ooh. Oh my.
the excess of emotions, and therefore sex is
Ooh. Look at that face. This is some good art, dude. God damn. It's amazing. Oh, I love it.
generally a large part of it. However, it's mostly pain. and torture.
She
Lots of pain,
thirsts.
torture, but sometimes sexually related or drug related. Lots of drugs.
Oh,
Lots of
drugs.
Slanesh
Ooh.
gets off on everything. Extremes in happiness, extremes in sadness, extremes in pain and sadism and masochism. And of course, that goes along with the sex part of it as well. It's generally referred to with sex because of the color scheme, very purple, lots of exposed genitalia. A lot of their models have like exposed nipples and stuff. And that is generally the theme you go
That's
for from
really
the
good
physical
art.
side, but it really embodies everything. Mainly pain and also the excessive amounts of emotion. So when it comes down to it, you'll find a lot of them have things like
Slanesh
spikes or whips or any kind of BDSM style gear because it is unspeakable excess, the prince of pleasure, everything in excess to the point where it is just sheer frightening. That is Slanesh
Excess.
in a nutshell. A little bit
Oh,
bizarre,
look at
and
those.
a little hard to
Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boobies. Ooh. Why is this covered? The other ones are kind of exposed. This is partially exposed. This one's covered. The other ones are free game, I guess. I don't know.
sheer frightening. That is Slanesh in a nutshell. A little bit bizarre and a little hard to describe sometimes. But as we talk more about the Dark Eldar later in this video, you'll understand it far,
Give
far
this art
better
1 out
and
of
far
2
more than
bombs.
you'd want to. Now you might be thinking, why would anyone ever want to
Yum is going to
join
womb.
chaos?
Womb.
They all look horrifying, screwed
Womb.
up, and just frightening things, right?
Yum,
Well,
yum.
the thing is that, of course, one, your mind is put into the warp and the materium, so you can be easily swayed by chaos demons when they get into your head, especially if you're a psychic.
yes.
Sometimes regiments of the less mentally strong people, whether they be civilians or, say, low-level guardsmen or conscripts, can be easily swayed
Guardsmen!
by this and
Guardsman! The first one he was talking about last stream was Guardsman.
become chaos cultists and stuff,
The
and
infantry.
they serve their dark gods and whatever god they personally prefer. However, and this might seem strange, chaos in their own right isn't necessarily evil. See, the warp is every manifestation of emotion and being, every soul, everything of existence. This includes all the good things. All the different chaos
The good
gods
things, really.
have another side to their coin. Korn might be death, murder, slaughter, slaughter, but he's also got
Death,
this weird
murder,
sense
kill.
of survival of the fittest, trial by combat.
Wait, do you know that... Oh, maybe this is... Maybe this is not a global thing. But I feel like I remember seeing a band called Death Murder Kill. DMK, Death Murder Kill. There's a band like that. Anyway, Korn.
And honor. Korn will never lie to you. Korn will never stab you in the back. Korn
He will never
isn't
lie.
about
Aw.
conniving and scheming. Korn is about straight up mano, you versus me, get in the ring, we're gonna murder each other hard right
Ooh.
now. It may not be a good thing at the end of the day, but it is that other side of the coin. Him and Zeech generally don't get along because Zeech is that
Zeech.
conniving schemer, but he's also about the idea of hope. Where there is change for your predicament. There is change for your problem. The hope of the galaxy,
Hope.
the ability to bend the world to your will, the idea that your fate is not set in stone, but in reality that you control your own destiny and can control it whenever you want.
Control your
The
own
changer of
destiny. That's
ways.
powerful.
That is Zeech. And of course, Zeech and Nurgle hate each other because while Nurgle does represent stagnation, death, and decay, he also represents finality and ending. The fact
What?
that you can
Banality? Banality or banality? What did he say? Banality?
Zeech and Nurgle hate each other because while Nurgle does represent stagnation, death, and decay, he also represents finality.
What? Finality. Oh, finality. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Vanality. I've never heard that one before.
And ending.
Finality.
The fact that you
Ah.
can be mentally at peace knowing that you will end and how you will end.
Ah, I see. Because Zeech is talking about the change. You can change your destiny, and this guy's like, no, you gotta stay like this because you're gonna die anyway. So they don't like each other. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Fear of the unknown, fear of
Fear of
change is
the
not
unknown.
present with Nurgle. With Nurgle, everything will rot and die, and that provides that finality, that ability that this
Finality.
is over. We are all the same, and we will all end the same. We know the meaning of life. The meaning of life is to live and die and rot. And with that, it brings peace of mind.
Isn't that like, if you think about it that way, isn't that like a good philosophy to have? Like how you're gonna live your life, knowing that you're gonna die anyway, being aware of your own mortality all the time, so you wanna live your life to the fullest. Maybe if you think about it that way, that's like a good thinking. That's a good principle to have. You know what I mean? And also when you die, you don't really know what happens to your body. You don't really think about like the decay and stuff. Because how will you think about it? You're dead. Unless your consciousness remains. Anyway, maybe I don't know much. Yet. We'll see.
Slaanesh is a lot more simple. While they are the excess of emotion, they are also the representation of emotion. Slaanesh embodies happiness. Slaanesh embodies excitement and joy and pleasure, not only in the sense of the physical, you know, bam style of pleasure, but also everything else like food and drink
food.
and
I love food.
air on your cheek and sunlight, the feeling, emotion and feeling. All of that is also represented with Slaanesh. So you have to ask, why are they always represented as super evil skulls and spikes on everything and want to murder everybody? I don't really got an answer for you on that one. My assumption is that because mentally humans may think worse thoughts.
Because it's metal. That's why. Ooh, it's metal, dude.
Even if we don't act on them, and therefore they're projected in the warp more. That one's a little bit weird. I don't know. This is me spitballing right now, but I don't know. You need a super bad guy. You already got the Imperium of Man. You need somebody to be a little bit worse than them. So you got demons. Honestly, who cares? I just want to buy like a
Demons.
bird magician. Look at him.
Oh, that looks nice.
So cool. So combining all this together on the tabletop, Chaos Demons are generally very melee based. They run in, go really hard. You have lots of summoning and conjuring, tons of spells. Generally a little bit frail, but they have special saves to make them a little bit stronger. You've got giant demons and smaller demons. You got
Ooh, look at that baby demon. Did you see that?
frail, but they have special saves to make them a little bit stronger. You've got giant demons and smaller.
Oh my god! This demon is not gonna have any of your shit. Look at the way he's like putting his hands on his hips. No shit from this demon. There's an egg on him. That looks like a sunny side up egg. Maybe it's a boil. I don't know. Baby demon.
Or demons, you got hordes of little boys and tons of big guys. Demons are, as they seem, demons. Nurgle is
Baby demon.
slow, Khorne is super scary in melee, you've got Tzeentch, who are far more into psychers and
Tzeentch.
spellcasting, and then
Oh my
Slaanesh,
God.
who is all melee, really fast, but squishy, but in lots of hordes of tons of melee and pain damage, of course. So overall, the demons are a huge part of 40k, and a massive
Huge
threat to
part.
almost every single faction with the exception of a couple. However, the big part about demons is also transferred into the other 9 Primarchs we didn't talk about, which are the Chaos Space Marines.
Oh, this is the Primarchs who revolted against the Emperor, yes? I remember that part. They're called Chaos. Okay, Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Marines?
So Horse
Chaos
and all of his
Astartes?
boys, all of them in the Primarchs, they have all also become Chaos Boys, and they all
Chaos
have their own
Boys.
special Chaos Legions, specializing in so many different things,
Oh, it's
just
so cool, though.
like the Adeptus Astartes, the Angels of Death,
That's
the
a cool
regular
design.
Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines aren't a whole lot different than the regular Space
Dude, that is so metal. I'm distracted by the art.
Astartes, the Angels of Death, the regular Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines aren't a whole lot different than the regular Space Marines. They have the same armor, generally the same training and toughness. They just specialize in different kinds of things. And also a lot of the Primarchs have ascended
Pre-heresy.
into greater is it greater demons? They're demon primarchs at this point.
Demon
Gigantic,
primarchs?
horrifying man-demon hybrids that are pretty awesome, if I'm going to be
Ooh,
honest.
yeah,
They
that's
look
pretty
really,
cool.
really cool. But them and their associated legions that they are a part of are all kind of going out there and causing a large ruckus for everyone else. Considering the raw strength and firepower of a legion of Space Marines, imagine that entire legion just converting to chaos and immediately fighting you. It's generally pretty horrifying. There's a lot of them, so I gotta write them down. But you've got the Emperor's...
Wait! I have a question.
Generally pretty horrifying. There's a lot of them.
Wait. So, he was talking about demons and the Chaos Marines, right? And he was talking about the warp. Do they live in the warp, or do they live in other planets? Is there a planet in the warp? Is there like a physical place you could stand on and live? Build a house? Yeah? Demon planets? There are demon planets in the warp? Some of them live in the warp. Oh, plenty. Oh, okay. Wait, since they live in this place, does it have the same rules as like the normal place? Like, can they float around here? They're demons, right? Can they float around in space? Do physics apply to demons? Like, do they need oxygen to breathe? Are they carbon-based? Are they reliant on oxygen and carbon dioxide? What? Maybe I shouldn't ask those questions. Maybe that's like outside of this thing. I don't know, I'm just thinking. Or are they just swimming around in this place? This place is full of demons. It has no rules. They can just float around in space and bite your ankles, basically. Different rules. The only rule in the warp is there are no rules. Oh, physics. No physics. Oh, the chaos gods make it up as they go. Oh my god, why they so powerful? That's amazing. There are no rules. Are you... Okay. Just trying to think about it, like in a logical sense. Maybe I shouldn't think about it in a logical sense. Okay, hold on. My laptop is kind of giving up on me. Because I see the chat in my laptop. I'm streaming on my PC, but I see chat on my laptop. Hold on. Okay. Pretty sure Slanesh has a planet that is just giant floating dude. Not going to deep thoughts. I know you. It's Yosti. Yosti, hello. Hey. Welcome. I make it up too as I go. Alright. That means demons are ethereal beings. Oh, there's no logic in it. Don't think logic when you're in the warp. Can you think in the warp? Maybe not. Laptop is the warp. There are demons in my laptop. Oh, it's giving up, dude. I won't be able to read chat if my laptop gives up, though. Come on.
So I gotta write them down. But you've got the Emperor's Children with Primarch Fulgrim, loyal to Slanesh. These people, they are some messed up
Hello,
people.
Yosti.
They're
Welcome.
just sensory overload, tons of drugs, tons of torture. And I think Fulgrim is
Tons
a
of
demon
drugs.
Primarch, right?
Wait, where do they get the drugs? Where do they get the drugs? Is there a faction that is specifically delegated to making the drugs? Is he gonna talk about it? I'm just curious, you know. I need to know about this hobby. I need to know about this world. So who makes the drugs? The questions. The questions! I need answers.
Now, and oh god,
Funny you should
I
ask.
am terrified to see what that man looks like. At least on the tabletop, because
They
the
grind
Emperor's
people
children
and
are
snort
not
them.
good people. You've got the Iron Warriors, which are kind of like opposite of the Imperial Fists, with Primarch Perturabo, I believe is his name. They're Chaos Undivided. They just kind of serve Chaos in a general aspect instead of choosing one of the four. But the Iron Warriors are big on the siege and fortification, and they're basically entirely against the Imperial Fists and are a major rival. Perturabo, I believe, is also still alive, and I'm also very interested to see what he looks like, because Demon Primarchs are badass. You've got the Night Lords with Primarch Conrad
Night
Kurz.
Lords.
Conrad Kurz is dead, which is good
Conrad.
because he's a sick fuck. But the Night Lords are generally about terror, terrorizing people, and terrorism. They're generally about fear, and rightly so. You've got the World Eaters with
this is
Primarch
such a good art.
Angron, still alive. Also excited
Angron?
to see. Angron. If
That
you
is a
think
cool
you've
art.
known an angry person, Angron is the angriest son of a bitch you will ever know. Angron
That's why he's called Angron, because he's angry. Oh, Angron, angry. Oh.
removed
So
parts
angry,
of
this
his
guy.
brain that didn't make him angry, so he could be angrier. Angron, fucker's mad. You've got the Death Guard with Primarch Mortari.
It's me? You're the one who makes drugs. Oh, no. What? Yeah? Pause where? Did I pause at the right time? Angry? Angron? That's why he's called that. Right. I
Angron,
caught that
fucker's
one. I caught that
mad.
one.
You've got the Death Guard with Primarch Mortarion. They actually have their own special codex and their own major army on the tabletop.
Oh, that's so cool.
Mortarion
That art
himself
is
is
so cool.
actually one of the models. And look at him. Look at him. It's so cool looking. Of course, Nurgle based, obviously. So very slow, but very tanky. You've got the Word Bearers with Primarch Lorgar.
Word
Lorgar
Bearers.
is, I believe, still alive. I don't know what's up with him at the current moment, but the Word Bearers are generally the people who caused all the major problems in the beginning. At least I blame them for it. They're little assholes. You got the Black Legion with
Angry
Primarch
Ron.
Horus. Get fucked, nerd. You've got the Alpha Legion with Primarch Alfarius Omegon.
Oh, this is cool.
Chaos, I think. And then finally, you've got the Thousand Sons with Primarch Magnus
Thousand
the Nerd.
Sons.
Thousand Sons also have their own book.
What? Magus the Nerd? Did he say that?
Finally, you've got the Thousand Sons with Primarch Magnus the Nerd.
Magnus the Nerd. It's really called Magnus the Nerd.
Thousand Sons
Okay.
also have their own book, just like the Death Guard. Magnus is also a tabletop model. He looks super cool, as you can tell, and they're all super heavily Psyker and kind of Egyptian themed. They look pretty neat. But overall, with all of these Chaos Space Marine factions, you can play as a lot of different ones, but the main
Erebus.
ones that you could really work at are standard Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, as well as the Death Guard and Thousand Sons, as they are the most fleshed out, especially on the tabletop at least. See this right here? This is a really good
Oh, here we go again with the text. Okay. Let's hear it.
way to describe the Chaos Space Marines. What the thick-headed fools with their broken corpse of an emperor fail to understand is that not only can they never defeat us, but they cannot hide or flee or shield themselves from the triumph of chaos. They are finite and we are unbound, undivided. They must not err, or they shall fall to heresy. All who fall join our cause. Every imperial fool who dares to
Fool!
open his
You
eyes
fool!
is a willing recruit. They strive merely to hold back our fury and might, and it consumes them. Thus, you can see chaos is inevitable. We lurk not only beyond their grasp and at their gates, we lurk within the darkness
they
of their
lurk a lot.
souls, on the tip of their tongues,
Lurkers.
in their tortured dreams. We are them, but freed from the shackles of ignorance. We are them, grown strong, evolved. We are them, but so much more. As hardcore as that quote is, the saddest part is they're mostly right. Chaos is basically unkillable. You could probably get rid of Space Marines a decent amount, the Chaos Space Marines that is, but every soul that dies goes to the warp. Every Chaos soul will end up back in the warp. And depending on how hard you killed them, they will come back at some point. Every demon you banish will return at some point.
Ooh.
Chaos is unstoppable. The
Inevitable.
warp is unending. And while maybe there is at some point some way to stop them somehow, the resources to do so, the requirements to do so, are so far beyond the reaches of man and the other races at the current moment, that really it's just an unstoppable force that just keeps on coming and is just barely being slowed.
Just keep on
Chaos
coming.
is by far the biggest threat. They are without number, their legions are everywhere, and yeah, they're pretty scary. So, I promise, we're done with humans now. Let's talk about some Xenos.
Xenos? Eldar? Wait! They're still humans. Huh. Wait! Wait! The Primarchs are still humans? Aside from the demons that he talked about, the Primarchs are still humans, yes? Space elves. Most except Coruscant. They aren't? They're not humans? Hmm. Humanoid! Space elves. Okay, let's go.
So let's talk about the Eldar, or also known as the Eldari, which are a super hyper-specialized and very technologically advanced race of, well, elf people. They were, as well, responsible for the creation of Slaanesh, the newest demon god.
Wait, they created a demon? So demons can be created. How about the other demons? They just spawn out of nowhere? But this one, they created it? Huh. Okay.
How'd they do that?
Okay.
Debauchery on a world-ending scale. See, back in the day, it was just Khorne, Tzeentch, and Nurgle. And the Eldar are very ancient. Millions of years.
They're old.
These Eldar, however,
They're boomers.
have a bit of a
Boomer demons.
sensory problem. You know, every kind of pain or feeling that you have is a little bit amplified compared to the normal. However, with Eldar, as their race advanced so excessively, and they became so self-reliant, and everything became so easy, there was no requirement for food production anymore, there was no shortages, everything was basically done. Everyone was so comfortable, and that comfort...
Oh, dude. I just thought of something. Elves in Lord of the Rings and elves here are kind of similar, huh? In a way that the way they portrayed elves is... they're advanced, they know how to live, basically. And... what was it? Where was I going with this? Well, with Lord of the Rings, they don't want to meddle with the affair of humans, except that there was a treaty with the humans, right? But also, it's like elves are always made to be really advanced, and maybe they got bored and they want to make something else. They got bored with their times, like, we already know what to do, so it's like, maybe we should do something else with our life, because we already know how to do this thing. I don't know, I forgot where I was going with this.
Everything was basically done. Everyone was so comfortable, and that...
There you go, the comfort. They're always comfortable. They're comfortable already. They know... They're living a good life already. Like, the elves are always living a good life. Based on how they are portrayed.
Comfort breeded this weird sedation.
Sentient life.
And that sedation breeded the requirement for more and more debauchery.
Debauchery!
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 When everything you have can be so easily acquired, you will end up down this road of pure debauchery. All of the senses the Eldar had that were so powerful,
Debauchery.
things like feeling, happiness, sadness, and just evil and good all
What?
need to be...
Wait, sorry. Excessive indulgence in sensual pleasures. All right.
satisfied and satiated. And the desire to satiate these senses grew more and more with worse and worse debauchery. It started off with things like sex and drugs
Debauchery.
becoming so much more rampant because these are the first things you generally turn to when requirements for living
Wasn't
are
sure
so
what it means.
easily accessible. It would get to the point that made Sander Cohen in BioShock look sane. All right, this is the kind of debauchery it led to. It was
I didn't play Bioshock.
constantly satisfying and satiating these sexual and sadistic or masochistic fantasies that only elevated and elevated. And this was species wide. People started going down darker, more depraved, and more violent paths as time went on. However,
First language? Oh, Filipino. I'm Asian. English is my second language. I learned how to English in school. Well, they taught it in school, right? But I didn't really understand it. I understood it because I read books. I could read and understand English, but I cannot speak it. And then I watch a lot of cartoons. That's how I learned how to speak English. And then eventually watch a lot of YouTube videos. That's why I sound like this. I kind of don't have the Filipino accent anymore. Or maybe I do. I don't know. But yeah, English is my second language. Debauchery. Oh, the debauchery.
some people didn't entirely take to that. Some of the Eldar were looking at this depraved species that they had become and said, no thanks for me, dog, I'm good. And they bailed. These are the craft world Eldar. They left on these giant continent-sized starships
Pinaya?
called craft worlds. They believed in learning the old ways of the Eldar and pushing away from this depravity and debauchery.
What do I sound like? Oh, I remember someone in the comments from the previous video was asking if I was European. They thought I was European with my accent. I'm Asian.
Old ways of the Eldar and pushing away from this depravity and debauchery and going back to their main roots. And so they would segment themselves on these giant craft worlds far in the outer reaches of space. They even had this thing called the Webway. Remember what we mentioned about warp travel with the Imperium? Well, the Eldar had something way safer.
Definitely have an accent, but it was definitely hard to pin down. If you are a peeing naga. What? I'm not a peeing. You are a peeing. Good joke. This guy. I thought Russian for a second when I first hear. Sound Northern European. Swedish. I don't know Swedish words, IKEA. Yavla?
Called a Webway. And the
Yabla.
Eldar Webway is actually like a pocket dimension. It's kind
Webway.
of thing. And in that pocket dimension,
They made
there
internet.
were also more horrible,
World Wide Web?
depraved groups and clans that would spend their time in there.
Oh, I have a revelation. They made the webway. They made the internet. That's why they got into so much debauchery, because they created the internet. Ha! I see how it is.
Kind of thing. And in that pocket dimension, there were also more horrible, depraved groups and clans that would spend their time in there. And if you imagine the debauchery was bad already, these were debauchery X10. So all of this continued, and it bloated until Slaanesh just burst forth. All that emotion, all that mental
welcome.
thought processes, I suppose, all of this in
They
such a
made the Rule
condensed
34.
space. Don't forget, this is all being shot, all their souls as well, into the warp. All of this depravity right into the warp. So what happened? Boom! Slaanesh was birthed and killed off 90% of the entire Eldar population.
Sheesh.
Untold trillions had their souls ripped from their bodies and their actual fleshy bodies devoured by Slaanesh demons.
So it's weird not having Naga emotes or redeems. Yeah, I don't have memberships enabled yet. But soon. Guys, soon we will have emotes exclusive to this channel. Just gotta unlock membership. So, you know what to do. Watch, subscribe, like, and then we're gonna have emotes. The emotes. Yeah, I miss the emotes, honestly. Anyway, what is he talking about? The elders were eviscerated. 90% of them.
The entirety of the Eldar race was eaten alive and their souls consumed to the Prince of Pleasure. All of them got fucked up. It was so bad that it literally ripped a warp hole into the fabric of the materium called the Eye of Terror. That's literally this like quasi horrifying gateway portal from the materium and the immaterium right next to Cadia.
What?
And it is horrifying. So this Slaanesh, also
What is
known
that
as
cough?
She Who Thirsts by the
She Who
Eldar,
Thirsts.
slaughtered
Ooh, that's a nice title. She Who Thirsts. Oh, that's hot. This is Slaanesh, yeah? Oh my god, look at that booty though. Ooh, She Who Thirsts. That's a good title. Let me hear it again.
Slaanesh, also known as She Who Thirsts
Horny
by
on
the
main.
Eldar,
Ooh.
slaughtered the entire population except for a couple. Those in the craft worlds were actually not affected by this as they were so far in the reaches of the galaxy. That crazy crack that birth of
The crack.
Slaanesh only affected the ones in the center. So these craft world
Slaanesh
Eldar were
crack.
able to escape, but Slaanesh got their sights on them. Every time an Eldar will die, their soul doesn't just pass into the warp naturally. It goes straight to Slaanesh, craft
Ooh.
world or not. What about those people in the webway? Well, imagine that
The
giant
internet
burst
elves.
happening, but they were only able to just barely get a grasp onto you. Slaanesh was just barely able to hold on. These people are the Dark Eldar, or also known as the
Drukhari.
Drukhari. The Eldar population right now is so
that's cool art.
massively small. It is minuscule compared to any of the other most of the other populations in the universe. The Eldar are
that's so cool.
consistently having issues
That's
trying
cool
to get
armor.
the population up because as their souls are constantly being hungered by from Slaanesh, they realize their entire species is doomed. And they understand it very well. Since the time of the fall, our race has been haunted by what we, in our reckless pursuit of hedonistic indulgence, gave birth to. Though our dreams once overturned worlds and quenched suns, we are now but fitful shadows clinging to the edge of existence. All the stars in the sky cannot blot out the hateful glare of the red moon's eye.
What's the red moon's eye? Is that Slaanesh? Huh? Or is that just a thing in the universe that exists? The red moon's eye. Where's the rest of the body? They're so boned. It's people. Their armor is made out of people. Ooh! Metal. Eye of Terror. Portal to the warp. It's a portal.
The birthing place of the great enemy pulses with all the
Where
malice of a
Slaanesh was
demon
birthed.
that is dreaming, casting its shadow over all we have ever done and all we ever shall. Every twisted strand of fate and casting of the runes leads me to this time, to this place, and it is clear that the final battle awaits me at the ancient Crone worlds, a conflict the likes of which has not been seen since the Monkai warred amongst themselves and their corpse of a seer fell to his traitorous son, is coming, and all my steps lead towards it, no matter that I walk other paths. I see the stars stained red with the blood of the Monkai, and though their
Monkai?
wars do not consume
The monkey? Who's the monkey? The legs of which has not been seen since the Monkai warred amongst themselves and their cultures. What the fuck is the monkey? Humans! Really? Monkey?
me,
Okay.
I would gladly let them destroy
Monkey!
one another. I know that to avoid this fight is
Oh
to
my God, I
condemn
want
my
a monkey
race to
emote.
inevitable doom, and though all I see is darkness, I know that I will not flinch from my destiny.
Do we have a monkey?
And now let's talk about cute.
Oh, sorry. Oh, shit. Oh my god, I'm sorry about that. I pressed the button and I was just curious if there's a YouTube monkey emote. Is there a monkey emote? Oh. Well, my laptop cannot handle it, so we'll never know. Ah, man, I got distracted. Where was it? Where were we? This is so far away.
You
Uh-oh.
pray you die. You don't. You are instead. They all don't die.
Oh
They are
my god, I
literally forced
forgot
to
where
do
it
this.
is.
Because if they don't, Slaanesh grip will get hard, moaning, fleshy, moaning.
Why am I clicking on that moaning thing? Okay, where are we? My timing is impeccable. Moaning fleshy.
Shadow over all we have ever done and all we ever shall.
Moaning and fleshy.
Every twisted strand of fate and casting of the runes leads me to this time.
Same place,
to this
though.
place,
I was just
and it is
distracted.
clear that the final battle awaits me at the ancient Crone Worlds. A conflict the likes of which has not been seen since the Monkai
Monkey.
warred amongst themselves and their corpse of a seer fell to his traitorous son. Is coming, and all my steps lead towards it, no matter that I walk other paths. I see the stars stained red with the blood of the Monkai, and though their wars do not concern me,
Monka!
I would
Monkey,
gladly
monkey!
let them destroy one another. I know that to avoid this fight is to condemn my race to inevitable doom, and though all I see is darkness, I know that I will not flinch from my destiny. And
Who
now
wrote
let's talk
that?
about cute plastic models.
Oh yeah,
Bro, I'm
we
straight
are.
up not having a good time.
We are right there. I was just distracted. My bad. Craft World Eldar. This outfit, this armor is so cool. Why do I feel like this armor fits so well in like Elden Ring? You know, it's like this armor set would fit so well in Elden Ring.
The
Looks
first
really
playable
nice.
race we have for the Eldar are the Craft World Eldar and living in those Craft World starships I mentioned earlier. And each of them have their own kind of Craft World, almost like a Space Marine Legion. Each Craft World is in itself its own special kind of group.
Monkey.
And the Eldar themselves are very fast and rely a lot on trickery. They are squishy, a bit weak, but they're very in tune as psychers. Tons of psychers across the entire Eldar population, and their weaponry and abilities are fast and extremely hard hitting, but of course rather fragile. Understanding an Eldar's brain is an exercise in futility. They are all over the place in
Exercise of
confusion
what?
and trickery.
Oh my god, I don't understand what
Extremely
you're saying.
hard hitting, but of course rather fragile. Understanding an Eldar's brain is an exercise in futility.
Futility, huh?
They are all over
Futility.
the place in confusion and trickery on a whole galactic scale. They fight weird, they think weirder, and Eldar, in their own right, really rely on this to keep their species alive. They need to think about deception and the strangeness of what they do if they truly want to not be immediately murdered and slaughtered wholesale
Yes,
thanks to their
yes.
entirely small population. However, I must say that it seems like their population is getting slightly better. These craft worlds hold millions upon millions of people, and as the
spaceship.
continually,
Elder spaceship.
reproduce and have their craft worlds expand, losing a few people in battle, while hurts a lot, they aren't really losing what's extremely precious to them. It's not like every single death means the death of their species. It seems like they're kind of on the upturn a little bit. They're still a doomed race, being sucked into Slaanesh every time someone dies, but they're
suck.
definitely doing a little bit better than they were before. Eldar are fast, cunning, and what they don't make up for in tankiness, they make up for in extremely advanced weaponry. They also call humans Monkai, which is something I mentioned
Monkai!
earlier.
Monkey!
That is a derogatory slur for humans in the Warhammer world. Why is it called Monkai? Well, it's because you can't, in your game, call people monkeys.
Why not? You cannot call people in your game monkeys. Oh, it's just a rule with the games, I guess. With terminology.
On the tabletop, exactly what I said. Not very tanky, generally pretty
Oh,
squishy.
that is so cool though. Gundam. That looks so Gundam. Don't suck me off, sexy demon. No. No. Not the M word. Not the M word. Oh my god, I want to pin this. Can I pin in YouTube? I think I could. Hold on. My laptop is not responding. I gotta do it on the desktop. Hold on a minute. This is what a streamer is like, dude. Just distracted all the time. Just distracted every day, all day. Pin. You can pin it. Don't suck me off, sexy demons. Oh no. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Hit like trucks and move at Mach 5. Fast, hit hard, die fast. Exactly how it sounds. They've been good for a very long time too. We bring only death and leave only carry on. It is a message even a human can understand.
Alright.
Eldar. So, Drukari. Let's talk about
Ooh,
the
that's
Dark
hot.
Eldar.
On today's episode of How Fucked Up is Fucked Up.
Ducati.
That's fucked up.
So those people I mentioned in the webway, in the super deranged cults and the depraved people of the Eldar, in the webway they didn't quite get a hold onto them. Slaanesh like has them, but it has them on like by the pinky finger, and they're slowly
the pinky
being
finger, no.
consumed by Slaanesh. But they found out they can stave her off by doing Slaanesh things. The Dark Eldar are by far the worst, most horrifying, disgusting, depraved, and brutal race in all of Warhammer 40k.
Ooh,
These are
brutal.
entirely a group of people whose full purpose to save their species from extinction, to go into planets, raid them, and
excuse me.
take as many slaves as they possibly can to torture them for 1, 5,
That armor is off-centered.
10, 20, a million years, because that torture will keep them from dying. They look very BDSM style too. They definitely have a lot more
BDSM.
spiky bits, and they have a lot more of that kind of leathery black look to them. But
Ooh, hot.
example, let's say you are an upstanding Imperial citizen, living life on a regular planet. You get invaded by the Necrons. The Necrons will shoot you with a
Who's the Necrons? He didn't talk about the Necrons. Who are they? Who are they?
atomizer, and you will be destroyed in a millisecond, and that's it. Not the worst way to go. You are invaded by Chaos Marines or something. You take a bolter shot to the head or a chain sword across your stomach, and you get cut in half. Painful, but not the worst. The orcs arrive. They beat you to death.
Ah, this is so sick. This art.
Hurts, but, you know, whatever. Tyranids, they eat you alive.
What are Tyranids? Oh, it's an alien.
Pretty rough.
Eat you alive.
The Dark
Ooh.
Eldar. The Dark Eldar. This is going to get a little graphic. I apologize. You pray
Did you see it?
Eldar. The Dark Eldar.
Oh my god. Oh, that looks good on him. Good on him. He has really nice legs. God damn. Is that a whip? Oh, is that a whip, or are you just happy to see me? Oh my
This is
god.
going to get a little graphic. I apologize. You pray you die. You don't. You are instead taken as a human slave. Your life will be endless work and agony, 24/7. They will make sure you can't not die, as your pain satisfies them. They will hook you up to all manner of torture devices. They
they're
will
gonna hook you up.
inject pain-based stimuli drugs directly into
drugs,
your
let's
nervous
go.
system. They will slowly
drugs.
run razor blades across your skin. They will fillet you and
Ooh.
pull out your teeth and your fingernails one by one.
Ooh.
They will remove your appendages and your skin and wait for it to grow back so they can do it again. They will
Ooh.
murder and torture and use the R word, it rhymes with grape, your entire family in
Ooh,
front of
that's
you
not nice.
and do the exact same thing to them. You yourself will also be rhymes with grape anywhere and everywhere possible. And this will occur for 20 years until you are no longer satisfying to them.
20
and
years.
then you will be contorted, crushed, and twisted into some form of trophy.
A ball.
A fleshy trophy, or a ring, or a couch, or a
Ooh, a
TV
couch.
stand, or perhaps a wonderful hat, while you are, of course, still alive and breathing. And you will become a moaning, fleshy trophy.
Moaning and fleshy. Yes, I saw that earlier. Moaning, fleshy. Accessory. They make accessories out of you. Amazing.
For eternity. And that is what happens when you are taken by the Dark Eldar. They are the most depraved,
Dark
most
Eldar.
horrifying race in all of 40k. They look the part, and they do it so they all don't die. They are literally forced to do this, because if they don't, Slaanesh's grip will get harder, and
Ooh,
they will have
harder.
their souls pulled
Oh my.
away. So long as they keep doing this, Slaanesh is like, "You're doing good, man. You're doing solid. You keep that shit up, you elf-eared bastards." That's the Dark Eldar. That's the Drukhari.
Fuck
They're
yeah, I love
horrible.
dogs.
On tabletop, they're actually kind of like Eldar, but more extreme. They are even squishier than the Eldar, but they hit generally even harder. Fast attacks, skirmishers, really quick, speedy, get around them, do a lot of damage, get away kind of stuff. That's most of the Dark Eldar. Look up the definition of Grim Dark in a dictionary. You'll find a picture of the Dark Eldar. And Sev from Republic Commando. A quote
Commando?
from Mr. Vecht. "We are the lords of despair, masters of terror. Dread and agony are our meat and wine, and they are plentiful indeed."
Dude, this whole video is so metal, you know what I mean? It's like this text that he reads. It sounds like something you would hear from a metal song. If you could understand the lyrics of the metal song, that is. You know? Especially in the first part where he was talking about death, murder, kill. With Angry Boy, Mr. Angry Boy. Korn. Wait, Korn is a band. Coincidence? Korn incidents? Korn incidents? Oops. I went too far. Korn incidents? I think not. That's what I was trying to do. Oopsie! Where were we again? Bunny suit? What? Did I read bunny suit there? Probably not. Okay. Korn incidents? I think not.
Republic Commando. A quote.
I'm proud of
from,
that one.
Mr. Vecht.
Eh.
"We are the lords of despair, masters of terror. Dread
No.
and agony are our meat and wine, and they are plentiful indeed."
Cornflakes?
Dark Eldar. Talk about the Harlequins. Clowns.
What's the matter,
Oh,
Andy?
clowns.
Don't you want to have some fun?
The Harlequins are a bizarre race of Eldar. They're
Harlequins.
demonic clown performers. They're like a weird mix of Sander Cohen from BioShock and Jin from League of Legends,
Jin.
but in a more clown theme. They're artists of death and perfecters of their craft.
Ooh,
They do not
artist.
belong to Craft Worlds
That's dope.
or any of the weird Drukhari people. They guard something called the Black Library, which is this giant tome of never-ending
Black
knowledge
Library.
deep in the heart of the Eldar webway, and also guarded by their god named
The Black Library is deep under the internet. Has anybody seen this Black Library you speak of? In the internet? Black Library. It's like the deep web.
Egorok, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is the laughing god, but it's the Eldar's laughing god, and these are the
Eldar's laughing
Harlequins,
god.
the Harlequin clowns. These are Eldar clowns. Okay, so imagine the things that an Eldar, these depraved individuals, would find
No,
funny.
I don't read.
And this is the god of that. It's a horror clown. These are gods of horror for us normal
Horror.
people. For them, they're like, oh, it's so funny. They're all
Yes.
dying horribly. Honk, honk. They're very bizarre
honk.
and difficult to describe. They've escaped the ruinous powers of Slaanesh somehow, but
Ooh,
their main
how
thing
did they
is guarding
escape?
that black library. And the Harlequins just... They're demon clown performers. They're barely
Demon clowns,
80 models on the tabletop. They're good in melee. They're demon clowns. I'm not sure. I got a quote. It is too easy for an Eldar to embrace the obscene virtues of chaos, for Slaanesh is nothing more than a manifestation
mean
of the
the hub?
Eldar mind in its most wild and unconstrained
Oh, no.
form. Human morality is meaningless to the Eldar, and to the dark side of the Eldar mind, all life is to be expended at a whim. Cruelty and generosity are but the impulse of a moment. Beauty and sensuality are virtues that can be expressed in bloodshed just as easily as in song.
all
To an
right.
unfettered Eldar mind,
meta.
there is neither sanity nor madness, but merely a wave of perfect existence fulfilled by its own savage momentum. They're very strange. The Harlequins, Drukhari, Eldar, they are an anomaly that make humans
Anomaly.
seem completely easy to understand in comparison. They range from rekindling their civilization to horrifying murder and also clowns. They're all over the place, but
Ooh,
honestly, they
clowns.
represent quite well and are rather interesting, especially with the whole Slaanesh murdering everyone bit. So, yeah, Eldar.
Yeah.
Now, bugs.
Ooh,
Mom, they
look at
following me, Mom.
Oh my god, look at that tongue though. Ooh, this art is beautiful. Dude, this is what I can say from what I've seen so far. The art are amazing. The artworks for Warhammer, very good.
They following me. These the bugs.
Bugs.
The Tyranids. Now, you want to talk something a lot more fun, a little more simple than all this
Tentacles,
crazy
ooh.
Eldar shenanigans? Let's talk the Tyranids. They're bugs. Do they look like Zerg? Hell yeah, they look like Zerg.
Ooh, look at that slimy flesh. Ooh. I kind of want to touch it. You know when you see something slimy and gooey deep inside your brain, you think, I wonder what that feels like, or like, well, I wonder if you could taste it. I would not taste it personally. It's just like you just think about it sometimes, you know? It's like, ooh,
Zerg. You want to know why I
Fleshy.
look like Zerg? Because they were actually supposed to be what Zerg were. Apparently, StarCraft was supposed to be a 40k game in the beginning, hence why they look so much like Eldar,
no? Okay.
Zerg, and the Imperium of Man. Like, kind of Space Marine-y. Those Marines, huh? They look a little bit Space Marine-y to me. Maybe. I don't know. You really fucked up on that one, Games Workshop, didn't you?
StarCraft.
Tyranids are a giant infestation of unfathomable proportions. These are giant,
Infestation.
extremely bio-advanced hive mind organisms that are basically all about
Babies.
absorbing as much biomass as they possibly can to evolve and mutate to be extremely potent and powerful and kill and eat anything in their path. They are probably the least evil fact.
I feel like they're gonna slurp you. Those tentacles, dude. Ooh, the slurp.
In all of 40k,
The slurp
because
action.
all they want to do is eat shit. They want to nom nom the entire
Om nom
galaxy.
nom.
They hangry and we food. Also, this
Hangry.
Tyranid hive mind has a presence in
They're
the
very
warp.
hungry.
In fact, Tyranids in their own right have a massive presence in the warp. They have a thing called the shadow in the warp specifically.
Shadow?
Where when they are coming in to invade a planet, they have this weird ability to kind of cut off the warp on all the psychers on that planet. And how do you get help across the stars? Well, you need the warp, because you need that for interstellar travel. So with people unable to call for help from the Tyranids, these are just easy pickings. And an entire giant Tyranid hive fleet comes out of orbit and just will massacre, absorbing all that biomass
suck
and
you.
turning them and all of their other Tyranids into
They gotta use those tentacles to Poke holes into you. Ooh!
To even more advanced monsters. They come
Slurp
in
like
so
a
many
juice.
varieties too, all based on what is important. Tiny little ripper swarms for scouting and having little dudes eat people up, to the hormigons,
Ooh.
termagants, and gene stealers, all the way to the
That's
hive guard
bad.
and the exocrines and the swarm
Nom,
lord,
nom, nom, nom.
to hive tyrants and their giant
Extra. And they... And the boba are the planets. Anyway, good analogy. I understand it. Very clear.
The Tyranids come in all forms and sizes depending on what they require. They are extremely good at anti-biological weaponry. There is no way you can plague them or blight them. They have extremely strong armor,
Tyranids
carapaces
ate the
and such.
Wi-Fi.
Tyranids are nigh perfect organisms and are pretty spooky when it comes down to how they handle all of their genetic material. Keep feeding them, they'll keep evolving. They keep on creating new horrifying organisms to spread across the galaxy. And you want to know what the most terrifying part of the Tyranids is?
Yes.
We might be surrounded. There have been around 6 or...
They're everywhere. We're surrounded by the insects. I thought it was me. Did I get disconnected? Oh, shit. I got disconnected for a moment. Uh-oh. I guess we're back. Hi. Tyranids ate the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, guys. They slurped the Wi-Fi.
7 Tyranid hive fleets, Behemoth, Kronos, all these different kinds of hive fleets, and they've all arrived in the galaxy from different points. Different sections of the Milky Way galaxy have had different Tyranids come through.
Oh, Chico Libre, you're back. Hello! Welcome back to the second stream on YouTube. Hey, hey. For about 10 seconds? They're in the walls. They're in the goddamn walls. We're surrounded by them.
That is horrifying. Because as far as we know, we could just be surrounded on all sides by Tyranids. The only reason you may not hear a whole lot about Tyranids is because it's a little bit hard to have a bunch of story off of one hive mind genocidal monsters. All these giant bugs swarming in, killing and eating everybody and evolving. Oh, I mean, as cool as there are some cool characters, the Swarm Lord, Old One Eye, you can't really have a whole bunch of major character-based stories around them. As awesome as they are, they're simple. They want to eat you. They want to...
Dude, the ships look like the one in Baldur's Gate. No? Like a Nautilus with the tentacles.
Eat you and absorb your biomass. They are simple bugs. If you want something a little bit more complex, talk gene stealer cults.
I can have all the pot I want. I get around faster than walking.
Oh, they're gonna steal your genes. Oh no, no more pets for you. The gene stealers. I think I made that joke last time already. Well, not me. Somebody made that joke already. The gene stealers. I need to type that down. I need to type it so you guys can cringe with me. I didn't spell it correctly. Oh well. Hold on to your jeans. Oh no.
And wherever I need a seat, I can just sit on my balls.
Gene stealer cults are a special brand of Tyranid that can slowly infect themselves into different kinds of society. And by infecting them, they can rise up to where they all pray and believe in these regular humans, pray and believe into their Tyranid hive mind gods. And these brood lords and I think they're called patriarchs.
That's why I wore my joggers today.
An entire world. All
gene stealers,
based into gene stealers, and these are called gene stealer cults. An entire hive world of the Imperium can be turned into nothing but servants of the Tyranid masters just by infecting them and screwing with their genetic code a little bit. They also have this cool like Mad Max look, which is really neat. They are definitely one of the bigger threats to the Imperium besides Chaos. I keep saying biggest threat to the Imperium. They're up there though, because you, dingus, stepped on a bug in middle school.
Me? I would never. What? It's my fault? No way.
asshole. There is a cancer eating at the Imperium.
I don't
With
wear
each
jeans.
decade, it advances deeper, leaving drained, dead worlds in its wake. This horror, this abomination, has thought and purpose that functions on an unimaginable galactic scale. And all we can do is to try to stop the swarms of bioengineered monsters it unleashes
Me!
upon us by
Backstep.
instinct. We have
No.
given the horror a name to salvage our fears. We call it the Tyrannid race. But if it is aware of us, it must know us as nothing but prey. Tyrannids, they're cool. But are they as cool as the orcs?
Every screen's gone red. That means I'm super fast.
Orcs.
Orcs! Meat is back on the menu. Orcs! Yes? Meat? They like meat? They orcs? Okay, anyway.
Orcs.
What's with the boss joke?
Love orcs. So, yes, the green monsters, the green tide, the green skins. These orcs, they are in fact a race in
Wow.
40k.
Hello,
the orcs
Daniel.
are
Wow.
as exactly what you expect them. They have archaic weapons, they're big boys, they have axes, and they have got big old teeth, and they want to kill everything, and there are so many of them. The only reason they haven't taken over the entire galaxy is they can't stop murdering each other. Orcs are so cool.
They hate each other. They hate everyone. They hate each other. Oh. My. The orcs are mushrooms. Wow.
Orcs don't have philosophy. Orcs don't have existential crisis.
What? They don't
matters
have
is who's the
existential
biggest
crisis.
orc.
Dude. That's pretty good. I don't like having existential crisis. Sorry.
You listen to that guy.
I wanna be
Is
orc.
he the biggest orc? He big orc. Big orc knows best. You win
He
the
big
power
orc.
of imagination.
Bro.
Of all
He
the
big orc.
races I have battled throughout the galaxy, the orc is
Unga
the
bunga.
hardest to comprehend. They wage war with machines that should not work, care little
Fry.
for strategic
Hello,
gains,
welcome.
and are just as likely to slaughter each other as the enemy. How does one battle an enemy that defies all logic? As an orc, you're enjoying life. You're enjoying the life you're given. Your whole life and job and purpose is to get up and beat each other to death because you can. The biggest orc is the
Big
man
orc.
who understands everything. He is the boss. And orcs have this really weird, like, big, dumb, stereotype British accent, which is just hilarious to me. Those are orcs. You fight.
Dude, I thought he was gonna do the accent. It's like, what do you mean by that? I was waiting for it.
You like to fight. Your whole purpose is to fight. You wage war because you want to wage
Unga bunga
war.
orc.
You got your boss over there, and you better listen to the boss, because if you don't listen to the boss will squish you and make you an example for the other orcs.
Orc
and then
bonk.
you can't fight because orc dead. And orc dead is orc
Fight on
dead
them.
can't fight because orc dead. Orcs. They scrap together machines out of parts that don't make any sense, and because they believe, they have the mental imagination that that machine will run, it'll run. If that machine's out of gas, you're driving that machine with your fellow orcs, and the biggest orc is behind the wheel, and you run out of gas, some orc behind you is like, oh, Zog, we're out of gas. And the big orc is like, no, we're not. I filled the fucking gas tank up earlier. And all the other orcs are like, oh yeah, you did do that.
yeah.
And then you turn the fucking mech back on and it works again. Does it have gas? Probably not, but it works.
That's
the power
amazing.
Of imagination. They paint things red because it makes them
that's
think that
cool.
goes fast.
Oh, it looks so cool though. Big guy, big motorcycle.
The power of imagination. They paint things red
that's
because
cool.
it makes them think that goes faster. They paint things purple because it's the sneakiest color. You want to know why? You ever seen a purple orc? Didn't fucking think so. Orcs are also
Really?
like ancient as hell. They're back in
No
the
pink orcs.
Eldari time frame. But back then they were called
Purple orcs?
and they were much larger and scarier and far more intelligent. Now they're just orcs and they're big, dumb, and they smack things. But they're pretty spooky. They're not very well armored, but they hit really hard, and it's called the Green Tide because there are so many orcs. There are about as many
Green
orcs as
Tide.
there are Tyranids. Maybe more. Who knows? But they keep on, murdering each other, so it's not too bad of an issue. Orcs are entirely comic relief. Their stuff
they're
is
comic
slapped
relief.
together. That makes no sense. Their vehicles don't work the way they're supposed to, but they work because they think it works, because they imagine that it works.
Dude, imagine if that's how it is in real life. Excuse me. If you think it works, If you imagine it works, it just works. It just works. You cannot spell work without orc. It just works because there's orc in work. There's orc in working. You cannot spell working without orc. The list goes on. Funny?
Orcs care only about who is the biggest orc, and they will follow the biggest orc. And then if they want to be the biggest orc, they'll challenge the biggest orc. And then when they go and they issue a WA is just war in orc, they murder everybody and everything in this giant tide of green orcs who are just excited to be hitting something. They don't care that they're hitting Eldar or the Imperium or Tau or anyone in between. They're just so they get to beat shit up.
Oh my
That's
god.
orcs. And on the tabletop, they are a total
I'm orcing
coin flip,
here.
and they're really fun. I have never met a salty orc player. I have never met someone who plays orcs and is ever just a bad guy or that guy. Orc players have this kind of fun to them because when you play them, you are completely submitting yourself to RNG. So here's the thing.
Submit yourself.
Guardsmen, Imperial Guardsmen, when they shoot, they roll a dice, and on a 4 up, they'll hit their target. They have a 50% chance. Space Marines, pretty good. They hit on a 3 or higher because they're well trained. Adeptus Custodians, they hit on 2s because they're just super well trained. Orcs, they hit on a 5 or higher. But if they roll a 6, they get to make another shot with anything, from the dinkiest pistol to the biggest rocket launcher. It doesn't matter. Half of their stuff will blow up on a whim. One of their medics, if you roll a 1 to heal someone, you fuck up your surgery and you just kill an orc.
Oh no.
They're so wacky and silly. But the thing is if you roll well, you roll high, and you keep rolling high, you are going to crush people. And if you don't, you lose. I mean, that's what you get when you play orcs. That's what happens when you play orc. It's a coin flip.
Oh, sorry. I gotta take a break. I need to refill my water. BRB. Do I have a BRB screen for YouTube? I need to refill my water. Ugh. Behave. Chat behave. I'm gonna be right back. Cream soda. What? What? Orc. It's time to orc. Orc, 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 orc. Okay. I'm back. Hey, hey, got water. Sticking ice cream in things sounds like Slanesh, and that's heresy. Have you never had the Coke float? It's Coke, but there's ice cream on top. It's pretty good. Kinda. It tastes good if there's chocolate syrup on top as well. So there's Coke, and then you put ice, and you put vanilla ice cream, and then you put drizzle a bit of chocolate syrup, and you drink it, and then 2 hours later you're gonna go to the bathroom. Yes, it's pretty good.
Which is why you can't be a salty bitch when you play orcs, because things won't go your way.
What float?
It's just
Coke
a roll
float.
of the dice. You're playing a dice game. But if you're gonna have fun and you want to be stupid and you want to be silly, you're gonna play some damn orcs. But on the opposite side of the fun part of this, let's talk about the Necrons.
Necron.
The Necrons are spooky, scary skeletons and very
Spooky,
grimdark
scary
again.
skeletons.
They have a much more fleshed out lore than before. Back in the day, they were just
Excuse me.
undead Egyptian space terminators, and they still look that way, but now they actually have a story. So way back in the day, you had the Necron tier. Kind of see a theme here: Eldari, Eldar, Krork, Orc, Necron, Necron tier. So the
Necron
Necron
tier,
tier were
yes.
this race of generally kind of shitty people. Not because they were personally shitty, because their lives were awful. They were ill-fated to a horrible existence of like radiation and a terrible planet they lived on, and everything just really sucked. Being a Necron tier
Aw.
was just really depressing. They really
no.
were looking for immortality.
Depressing.
They were extremely reliant on the hope that they would eventually find the key to living forever and just stave off this horrible nature that they were thrust upon them, and therefore they could become the most dominant race in the galaxy. And they found this group. They're called the Old Ones. Imagine them
The
kind of
Old
like
Ones.
Forerunners in
The
Halo
Boomers.
or the Xel'Naga in StarCraft, right? These Old Ones were these
Naga?
strong, pretty
The
much
Naga in
omnipotent
Starcraft.
beings.
Starcraft,
And they, of
Starcraft.
course, knew the key to immortality. So the Necrons went to them and said, please, show us your ways. And the Old Ones said, piss off. Not
Oh,
really,
no.
they were a lot more humble about it, but they did not want to share their secret of immortality with the Necrons. The Necrons, of course, took this very well and waged war
My
with
faction?
them. Kind
Oh,
of under
yeah.
this united banner.
Spooky, scary skeleton. It's Yosti. Oh my god, it's you! I didn't know you were a Necron. Oh my. Of course you are.
The Necron different dynasties didn't really like each other, but under this one man, the Silent King, he thought the best way to unite his race was to do this giant war with the Old Ones out of spite for them keeping the secret of immortality to them. This was known as the War in Heaven, and this
War
is
in
actually a
Heaven.
multi-stage war, because during this War in Heaven, they discovered the Star Gods, a whole new
Ooh,
race of
Star
people known as
Gods.
the Catan, or the Catan. These Star Gods were also very much like Old Ones, almost omnipotent beings, and they too had the key to immortality. And so the Necrons went to them and said, hey, can you help us
Shiny butt.
fight off the Old Ones? Can you help us kill these Old Ones, you, the Catan? And the Catan said yes. And in fact, we can help provide you with the immortality you so desperately
Ooh,
seek. So the
immortality.
Silent King of the Necrons decided to make a pact with the Catan.
How did he make a pact if he's silent? Just wrote them down? Probably. I'm a comedian.
To allow them to accept this generous gift of immortality upon them. But this, of course, had been a horrendous trap, and the Necrons were dragged in chains to this biotransference where their flesh was stripped from them, replaced with nothing but a metal hollow shell, as their souls were ripped from their body and fed to the Catan. And the Catan fattened up. They
Ooh.
got chonk on
They
the
got
souls
chonky.
of the Necrons. As this was their plan all along, they consumed the flesh and souls of the Necron tier and turned them all into unwilling robotic slaves just to serve
Robot
their
slaves.
will. And then, with their new-founded Necron army, they pointed their guns at the old ones, and the Catan continued their domination of the stars and their genocide, complete and full genocide of these old ones.
Oh,
the old
no
ones
more
did
old
their best
ones.
to stave it off. They even created other races, the Eldari and the Orcs, to try to fight off the horrifying Necron army and the Catan above them. But there was absolutely no possible chance for them. And the old ones were absolutely extinguished across the galaxy. Their entire race completely removed. Full-on 100% genocide. However, during all this, the Catan, so just infatuated with their victory, started fighting each other for fun, for sport, and for small differences. Doesn't matter. The Catan, with these overpowered people, they're going to eventually hit each other at some point. And as they began just menially fighting each other, the Eldari and the Orcs actually started pushing on the Catan's borders a little bit, giving them a little bit of a run for their money. And as this continued, this is when the Silent King, who retained his consciousness, decided to leap into action and start a full-scale revolt against their Catan masters. And this revolt was bloody, as the entire Necron army was surged off to destroy.
But they're skeletons. And how is it bloody? Huh, suspicious. How do skeletons bleed? Because they have bone marrows and there's like blood in there? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, maybe it's just a manner of speaking. The whole ordeal was bloody, but maybe they didn't bleed. I don't know. It's not their blood. Of course.
Destroy these star gods. They were able to, just after suffering horrendous losses, were able to turn the tide of the war. And they took these Catan and they blasted them. Because as these star gods are unkillable, they were able to break them into thousands of shards and entrap them in giant stasis vaults to now actually be slaves to the Necrons. And with the Necrons having the entirety of their old gods enslaved to them, they realized that soon their race was about to be attacked by the overcoming new races, the Eldari and the Krorks. And so what they did is they retreated into giant stasis tombs in order to preserve their energy and their strength for when one day they would be reawakened and they would be able to rule the galaxy that was rightfully theirs. And then some dingus Adeptus Mechanicus guy diddled with a green console, and now the Necrons are back and they see all.
You know what? I know little about what's going on in this universe, but I'm already ready to defend the Adeptus Mechanicus. I like them, so don't call them dingoes. Adeptus, no dingoes. Huh? I already like them.
All these primitive races on their lawns, and they think, get the fuck off of it. The Necrons are back.
It was meant to be, it's fine.
Advanced, and they are here to reclaim the galaxy that they so rightfully believe is theirs. Now, on the tabletop, they're a lot like that. Tons of undead Egyptian skeleton robots.
No, they're not dingoes.
That when they die, they just get right back up because they keep on reanimating. Hard to kill, tons of crazy stuff. You can use the Catan themselves as units to fight with. It's pretty cool. The Necrons are one of the three major events in 40k. The Horus Heresy, the Fall of the Eldar, and the Awakening of the Necrons are all pretty substantial events. And the Necrons themselves are pretty dang cool as well. Here's a good quote from a wonderful Dawn of War game. Lucky creatures, at long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs, I was remade. Here, my brethren slumbered for eons while the living grew like weed. My Lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Kronos will be a tomb world once more. Necrons are also pretty smug. Trays in the Infinite especially.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. Ooh.
But speaking of dickheads, last race, let's talk the Tau.
We made a fucking walkie.
Tau Empire.
The exact formation of the Tau Empire is not entirely understood. However, a long time ago, many thousands of years ago, in the 40k world that is, some Imperial navigation vessels were going around through different areas, and they saw a primitive race, blue people, smacking each other with sticks and stones. They thought, nah. Dumb Xenos race, who gives a shit, and they bailed. Then this giant warp storm occurred right in that major area, unable to be breached. Then, once that warp storm 6,000 years later subsided, hello, those little sticks. Well, they decided to actually have no war of any kind and all just unite together under one flag of the Tau Empire. And now they have gigantic starships and Gundam robots and lasers and railguns.
That is so cute. Look at that head. It's so cute. The shape is friend shape. But it's so cute. It's a very cute head right there.
And mechs, and they are here to ruin your day for the greater good. That is generally the Tau Empire. They have this kind of feeling of this homogenous group. All species can go underneath the banner of the greater good. The greater good is their idea of the fundamental increase and help of all. In fact, they are most likely the most like the Covenant in Halo, where they have the overarching prophets, being the ethereals, who are actually kind of dicks and like to pull at strings a little bit, but then you have all these different races directly underneath them, and they all work together in this big group as this large, foreboding race that tries to spread their weirdly pseudo-religious influence across the galaxy. The alien is not intrinsically evil. Do not hate him. Pity him, his ignorance. Seek to understand his differences and equate him with his inadequacies. Only then will he accept his place in the greater good.
Ooh,
that
the
is
greater
generally
good.
the Tau. And if you're kind of wondering like what their mainly big shtick is, well, they're all about big robots and mechs. They have laser rifles and rail guns. They got giant mechs with tons of missile pods and heavy rail rifles and rail guns and burst cannons and ion accelerators and void shields and all this stuff. And that is generally what the Tau's all about. But you're probably thinking, Bricky, this doesn't sound that evil. This doesn't sound very grim, dark Warhammer. And you'd be right. The Tau Empire really don't have that much of a horrifying, grimdark style like everybody else. They're much more younger, new age thing. In fact, they're probably a lot less evil and a lot even better than they are now back in the day, because they liked having like that good guy faction. But a lot of us who really like the dark, depressing style of Warhammer didn't really like it that much. So, see, the Tau get a lot of hate, and a lot of that hate isn't necessarily unjustified. It's mainly from a tabletop perspective, but as you can see from all the visuals I've shown you recently, they don't really fit in the 40k universe.
It looks so cute. Aww. The robots look so cute.
Very well. They lack that super dark, dramatic, kind of high gothic level the Imperium has.
They're not
have
metal.
The weird kind of like grungy stuff that Chaos or say the Orcs do. And the Necrons and the Eldar have their own specific style as well. The Tau really do look like something out of Gundam. And while it isn't necessarily a bad thing, it does definitely not fit too well. There's that. There's also the tabletop problem. In tabletop, Tau are horrible at melee combat, but exceptionally good at range combat. So they blast everyone from really, really far away, and they have a million rules to make it so that it's nearly impossible for you to get into melee combat. So it basically just forces you to bottleneck the game
so
into
cute.
one specific gameplay style, which is gun to gun. And if you're doing gun to gun, they're going to win every time
Gun to
because they're
gun.
the Tau, and the Tau are really damn good at shooting. So it's one of those things that make the Tau generally rather hated, and a lot of different reasons for that, both from style and such. But this is actually one of the things I wanted to end this video with, is that the Tau, while they have their issues, you should not be discouraged from playing them. I'll make plenty of Tau weeaboo jokes, of course I will, but it's all generally in good fun. Anyone who legitimately doesn't want you to play a faction is an idiot, and you shouldn't be giving them the time of day. You pick what you think is cool and what you like. In Warhammer, especially now, factions get better and they get worse. They grow and then they fall. You should only be playing what you think is cool. You like the look, you like the models. If you're talking tabletop, that is what you should be going for every time, is what you think is badass, because things change all the time. But the universe of Warhammer has so much going for it. Every faction has something interesting, every character has a story, and there's a million stories to be told. The universe is vast and exciting, and while it is dark, depressing, and horrible, that is the damn charm. And out of everything I've told you in these two videos, if anything you could take away is the reason why so many of us are so into this series and why we like it so much. Because with so much variety, such an expansive universe, and so much that can be done, you can find yourself having a pretty great time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has been informative to you. If you'd like to see more of me, Bricky, you have twitch.tv/Bricky for my streams. You have my merchandise site, in which I was wearing all of my merch, but underneath this, because I had to wear this so it wasn't black or white for the green screen, which is a little unfortunate, but it's fine. If you'd like to see merch, it is in the description. Also, if you'd like to support me on my Patreon page at patreon.com/Bricky for more videos like this, then that would also be wonderful. So Twitch, merch, Patreon, anything if you want to support, that would be fantastic. I'd appreciate it. If not, I'm just stoked you got all the way to the end of the video, and that is enough for me. So I'm going to be having some more content like this out in the future. Thank you so much for sticking around this long and being with me through this pretty rough time. That's, I think, all I got. Also, before I go, let me leave you with my favorite Warhammer quote. "He who scoffs at the power of the las gun has never ran through a field of 1,000 of them." Bye-bye.
Bye! That's a good video. Like, subscribe. Good video, good video. Do I want to recap? Should I recap what I remember from this video? Uh-oh, here I go again. Okay. Let me see. Mechanicus is your favorite so far, yeah. It's pretty cool. I just like the aesthetic. It's probably just because of the artwork of Cowl. What's his name? Belisarius Cowl? That guy. That art is really good. Ring that bell. Yeah, subscribe, like, ring that bell, comment. Okay, I'm gonna do a recap of this this video. What I remember from watching this video. Okay. Oh, it says right there, it started with the Chaos Demons. The demons, there's 4 of them. Korn, the Angry Boy, and there's Sich, Snitch, Zish, that guy, the confusing guy, and there's the Swamp Boy, Nurgle. Oh, I remember that one. Nurgle, Swamp Boy, Stinky, all about decay. And Slanesh, the beautiful. The beautiful, the sensual, she who thirsts. The thirsty, Slanesh the thirsty. Okay, I remember that one. Okay, and then he talked about Chaos Marines. Remember that? Then I forgot. I forgot what he talked about after the Chaos Marines. What did he talk about? The elves? Is it elves right away? Yeah, the elves who made the internet. Eldar? I don't know what they're called. The elves. And then there's dark elves. And then there's orcs. And then there's insects in the walls. What they're called? Tyranids. Oh, Eldar is the evil elves. Huh? What? No, Eldars are just elves. Tyranids, Orcs. Can't spell work without orc. It just works orc. And the skeletons. Necrons. Oh my god, I remember! And then the last one, the Pew Pew Laser Gundam guys. What are they called? Tau! Oh my god. Ooh, memory serves me good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good video, good video. Okay, thank you for coming to the stream. Should we watch more? I was kind of thinking of watching the lore, like the history thingy. History. Because I saw another video of his called Warhammer lore. You could watch more stuff. Let me see. What is it called? I need to look for it again. It was recommended to me by YouTube. Let me see if I could find it. It's called, what is Warhammer 40k Timeline? Timeline, there you go. It's called Timeline. Horus Heresy. Astartes? Have you watched Astartes? Ah, yeah. I've seen it. I've seen that one before, a long time ago. Oh, it's so good. It's amazing. It's an amazing animation. And I believe one person made it, right? Oh my god, I can't believe it. There's 45 people watching right now. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for being here. Did I say hi to everybody? Do I want to say hi to everybody here? You know what? If you want me to read your name, say something in chat and I'm gonna say hi. Hello! Okay. From what I remember earlier, who dropped by, they were usually from Twitch. So Explosion, of course, Legendary was here. Yosti was here. Hello, hello. Chico is here again. Hello, Alpharius. Hello, Maxi. Hello, Fen. Football Head. Hello, hi. You're on TV. Say hi. You're on my cell phone. Nana. Hello. Oh, Nana, you're back. You're ending already? No, I'm thinking of watching another video. Who else was here? There was also someone called NN, if I remember correctly. Daniel, hello. First time watching live. Oh, welcome, welcome. It's me. Welcome. Who else was here? I could scroll up a little bit. Who did I not say hi to? Box Dreadnought, hello. Oh, I could not scroll any further. Federico, hello. First time watching, hey! Thanks for joining. We could watch some more. We could watch some more or we could just end here. Bricky beats are a hell of a buff. They're pretty entertaining so far. Yes. There's a button. Button! There's a button. It says subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Word number of people turn up to watch people watch Bricky. That's streaming for you. Watching somebody watching somebody watching somebody. Welcome to the world of streamers and VTubers. I'm a VTuber, if you don't know. For some reason, if you don't know what VTubers are, that's me. I'm a VTuber. Naganyum, I knew. Not sure in mobile or live to see who's in chat. I have no idea. Hello, Jess. First time watching live. Heck, the first word I hear from you was chinch pipi. The chinch pipi. I mean, like, I could not, dude. If you see it, will you not look at it right away? It's like, bro, it's right there. It's open. It has the tongue out. It's like, what the fuck is that? The chinch pipi. VTuber. Yes. This is the world of VTuber. I'm a VTuber. You're a VTuber. Soon you will be a VTuber too. You just don't know it yet. You, right there, chat? I know you. You watching right now? You're gonna be a VTuber. You cannot resist it. You cannot resist. You will be a VTuber. I guess we could watch one more. It's the end of human evolution. VTuber? No. It's the start. You'll be a real anime girl soon, chat. You cannot resist being an anime girl. You will be an anime girl. Might get one of them Fugi things for Discord. Oh yeah, that's really helpful. If you wanna try getting into it, that's usually the gateway. Fugi tech. Oh, once you go into that, they're down below. Welcome. You VTuber, me VTuber, we all VTuber. Yes, indeed. That's how they get you, dude. You start with using the Fugi tech, and 2 days later, you're a VTuber. You gotta wait 2 days. If all evolution ends in crabs, does that mean we'll all be crab VTubers? Yes. Indeed. Hello, the Tempest, welcome. If you really think about it, what is VTuber anyways? It's just anime girl talking on the internet. You know what they say? Sometimes it takes a real man to be best girl. Anime girl talking on the internet. You don't have to be an anime girl. You can be anything you want. Something virtual. Okay, next one we're gonna watch. What is Warhammer 40k timeline of 40k lore? Do I watch this now or do I watch it later? Now that's the question. You're a pork? What do you use to animate your VTuber? Oh, it's Live 2D. It's animated in Live 2D, it's rigged in Live 2D, and then the tracking is called VTube Studio. Because Fugi is literal flesh brick, it's the most horrifying thing you'll ever see. Flesh brick, sheesh. That's one way to put it. Later? Depends on you. More content, more fun. That is indeed the question. I mean, we could watch it now, and then I'm gonna record it, and then I will upload it as a separate video. How long am I streaming? I've been streaming for 2 hours. I'll have you know this is nothing when compared to how I stream on Twitch. I usually stream on Twitch for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. But with YouTube, because in the beginning I wasn't so sure, right? Because there's not a lot of people who actually watch my streams on YouTube. So I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't so sure about streaming on YouTube. So I just stream a little bit. If you're going to watch Lore 40k, we recommend Luitin's vid. Deep dives. For short ones, Mr. Bones 40k is also good and understandable. Bucks Baldermort is also good one. Multicast right now, nah. I'm not doing a multicast right now. It's just on YouTube. Luitin. I think he was also recommended to me by YouTube. Luitin. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so specific though. How about like a general timeline? Lore series. He has a lore series? Let me see. That's a lot of videos. Multi-Epi 40k lore series. Do you mean this? By Luitin09? This thing. So that's a lot. That's 34 videos. This is the whole lore. Is it okay to ask your computer space? I don't remember. Nah? You're stuck on a Warhammer vid directs for the rest of your life. Yeah, dude. I only watched one from last week, right? Last week I started with one video. I watched it on stream and then my feed is full of Warhammer videos. After watching one. Some of the lore a little bit. Because what I was thinking is this. This one. By Bricky-chan again. Because it's quite short, it's 31 minutes. Maybe it's like general history or something. You only watch one Warhammer, 39,999 to go. Where's the rule of the cult? There's no cult. Alright, alright. That's a good one. I'm a Warhammer Vtuber. I assure you, when I stream on Twitch, I don't really watch Warhammer on Twitch. I mainly play Souls games on Twitch. When I'm not procrastinating, that is. But I just play random stuff on Twitch. Although I haven't finished Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 yet. I only finished Elden Ring. Can I really say I'm a Souls streamer? Nah, not really. I just stream a variety of stuff. Accidentally encountered it 15 years ago and cannot go back. Taking the general history book for Warhammer, I see. I mean, I feel like this one is so in-depth though. This is 34 videos. I could start with this. Only 15 years, switch summer child. I'm 25 years deep in Warhammer. Someone help me? No. No help. No help. What day is it today? Oh, it's Monday, right? I forgot. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? We could start with this. With this one. Do I do it now? What do you watch next week, though? Next stream is gonna be next week. Probably Tuesday or Monday. It depends. But for YouTube, I only stream once on YouTube. Yes. Only stream once a week. Lutein is very long-winded and goes into nitty-gritty details. Monday, April 22, yes. April 23. Yeah, it's already 23 here. You know what? It's Monday. Do I want to watch more? Hum. Up to me. I cannot decide. Well, maybe next week. You know what? I'll just do it next week because I'm gonna make a new thumbnail for the stream. Because this is gonna be a video, right? So, I'll prepare a thumbnail for next week and then react on the lore. Warhammer lore, Bricky-chan again. And then after that, we're gonna watch some animations. Because I wanna watch Astartes again. It's so good. I wanna watch some animation Warhammer. Because they're also recommended to me. They were recommended to me and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. I want to see those. But I don't want to watch them before stream. I want to watch them on stream. Because I have questions. And also content, you know? I'm a streamer. Streamer must stream. React to good stuff on the internet. So, that's what we're gonna do. After the lore, we're gonna watch animations. And after that, maybe we could go to the deep dive lore things. There's a lot of time, okay? Probably gonna stream more Warhammer, don't worry. Because you guys like it. And you're here and you like watching this stuff, so I'm gonna do it for you. Chat. Yes? Yes, I will do it for you. Hell's Reach? Oh yeah, I already have that saved on my watch later. Thanks for coming, viewers. Yes, thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Because next week, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more next week. Also, thank you very much for watching the previous live stream. Because that video alone brought in 100 plus subs. From one video. From one live stream. So that's crazy. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the Warhammer fans who subscribed and watched the video. Because it had 7.9, no, 7k. Oh, 8k. It has 8k views now. So thank you very much to the Warhammer fans who watch it and subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate it. Next week, more stuff. Yes! Goodbye. Sweet dreams. Good night. What else do I say? New mouth? New mouth. It's been real. Did my part. Thank you. Goodbye. Next week, same time. Could be Monday or Tuesday. But you will see the schedule for it. Because I will upload the schedule when the stream is closed. What do you call it? I'm gonna make a waiting room. There's gonna be a waiting room for the next stream, so you're gonna know when it will be. Yes! See ya! It's been real, chat. It's been real. This is the first time I've had, like, 40 plus viewers in a stream. On YouTube. Thank you. New mouth. For real. Goodbye. Rah. This is the ending song. Wow. Ending song. Wow. Thank you for watching. Good night.